artwork, yes, last but not least. It all started out with a sketch that I drew myself. I'm not the greatest artist, but I can do a little bit, so it was enough for me to get my idea out of my head onto paper and to give it to a friend of mine who is a very skilled artist, but unfortunately she couldn't really get it to the point where she wanted it, and she's not the person to work like with digital programs and stuff like Illustrator or Photoshop or stuff like that to create an artwork like this. She's more like the analog artist, and she couldn't really finish it, so I gave it to another friend of mine who is an artist who is rather skilled in like the digital form of creating art, and he finished it, but he ended up not having the time to make like appropriate background artwork. Like we have this like Polaroid format which is turned around, which makes up the cover, and also the stuff for inside of the CD case and stuff like that. He couldn't do that, and then like had so much luck by randomly meeting Scarlett via Instagram, and then I asked her if she could do the background stuff, and she's doing great space art and montages in Photoshop, so like I hit her up, and she did this for us, and we were super grateful for that, and she did a great job, and in the end it came together perfectly, like the colors and the motives, and yeah, I really love it, and I really love as well how it turned out. Like when I look back at my first sketch I did of this artwork and where it is now and how it has been like realized into a picture, this is so great. Like when I compare it to my first initial drawing, and now I see the like finished work, and I remind myself that wow, this is what came out of your head, and someone really took the time to shape it to what it is now, and that is so great. And what I also really like about, and I have to give it to myself for this one, is how the artwork combines like the most important elements of the 3 separate songs. I'll leave it to you to find out which one is which, but I think it's not that hard. In general, talking about the meanings of the songs, I won't do that because that is something I want our listeners to find out, and write us messages and write us comments and tell us what the songs are about to them, what they mean to them, because this is what I think is most beautiful about instrumental music. People say, oh, you have no vocals, how are we supposed to sing along to that, how are we supposed to connect with the songs? It's easy, just take the feeling you get from it, take the atmosphere, and just connect something to it. We all have stuff in our heads and in our hearts that we can connect to music, and normally we connect things with voices and vocals, even if we sometimes don't even understand what the singer is saying, but just because it's a voice, like something that's produced directly by human. Of course, like guitar sounds are also produced by humans, but produced by humans playing instruments, not by humans like being their own instrument. So I get why people tend to connect more to songs with vocals, but in this case you have like so much space to explore, and you have so much you can take from, and so much you can connect with it, and yeah, you really have so much space to put your own interpretation in. So it's really important to us that our listeners connect their own feelings and own thoughts with our songs, and let us know which those are if they like to. Maybe someday I will give you my explanation and give you my interpretation of our songs, what I thought when I wrote them, but first, before this happens, I want people to let me know, or let us know, what they feel about it. So that's really important to me as well, as the person who writes the songs or wrote these songs. And like, we are not ashamed or anything of sharing our stories. We just want like our listeners to do the work first.